Up next,
on Eco Company.
tomatoes, potatoes, and broccoli, oh my!
It's a trip to the farmer's market in New Haven, Connecticut, and we're not wasting any time sampling the local produce. Plus, you can't visit Connecticut without heading to Yale University, or make that the Yale Sustainable Food Project.
The Yale Farm is an urban market garden. The plot is about an acre in size, and we grow food here.
It's where green thumbs unite.
Plus, turning food into power using restaurant grease to fuel cars.
Biodiesel is a replacement for traditional fossil fuels.
Then, taking it out of the classroom. A school that's about more than just stellar academics.
I learned a lot about the environment and how it affects me.
They're churning out future college grads with an eye on green jobs.
Eco Company on the road from Connecticut
Starts now.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into Eco Company. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Adam. We love our fruits and veggies here on Eco Company.
So, as you can see, we're checking out a farmer's market here in New Haven, Connecticut.
The climate here is great for growing all sorts of vegetables, including this ginormous broccoli.
And students nearby at Yale University are getting in on the farming action.
Yale University, traditional New England. Ivy-covered halls welcoming students from around the globe. But ivy isn't all that's growing on campus.
Coming up over here is where we grow all of our solid mixes.
Something we discovered on our recent visit to the Yale Farm.
So tell me about the farm.
Okay, so the Yale Farm is an urban market garden. The plot is about an acre in size. We cultivate on about 3/4 of an acre of it, and we grow food here.
The farm is part of the Yale Sustainable Food Project founded by Yale students, faculty, and staff. Here, intern Cody Hooks says it's all about growing food sustainably.
Sustainability is really like caring for this land as a system. And so it's making sure that we try not to bring any inputs in and that we can produce everything here on the farm. So we make all of our own compost from the plants that grow. And then that then goes back into the dirt and fertilizes things for the next season. It means that we don't use pesticides or herbicides to deal with little critters. We do crop rotation.
So what's surrounding us here?
Well, we've got our squash field right over there on the left, and our brassicas right here. And
Senior Brian Tang is another farm intern.
basically, the idea behind the Yale Farm is that it's a space for Yale students to kind of learn in a way that they can't learn in a classroom.
These students are also part of a larger community.
So we're headed up to the NOFA conference, which is the Northeast Organic Farmers Association at Amherst, Massachusetts. Drawing folks from all over the region to talk about sustainable agriculture.
So you're a young farmer. Why is it important that more people do this?
Well, I mean, you don't have food unless someone grows it. And over the course of history, that system has become highly mechanized, but you still have to have people on it. And we have to have people that are gonna learn all of these skills.
For these guys, growing food is about a whole lot more than what ends up on the table.
I think it's important for any person to know where food comes from and to understand the labor and care that it takes to produce it. So I think it's awesome for any community to have any sort of space like this, you know, in whatever form it might be. I'm obviously really proud of this space. I've spent almost 3 months here planting things in the ground, watering them every day and seeing them grow.
So that's it from the Yale Farm. Let's head to Jordan on another part of campus.
Hey guys, we're here at Croon Hall, home to Yale University's School of Forestry and Environmental Studies. And how cool does this place look? This LEED certified beauty is built green from top to bottom. From solar panels that provide electricity and heat water, to a water reuse system used for irrigation and more. It's the picture of sustainability. So much so that you'd never guess this used to be the site of a former fossil fuel burning power plant. Forestry student Troy Hill is giving us the rundown. So Troy, tell us about this building. Why is it so green?
Well, all the wood is from the school's forest, and it was harvested using the sustainability protocols that have been established by the Forest Stewardship Council. And so it's all local, and it was processed in a environmentally sustainable fashion.
It's true. Yale has its own forest in northern Connecticut. Half of the red oak paneling came from there. The building's design is special too.
In the summer, when the sun is at a higher angle, the slats are designed to block out the sun's rays and minimize the amount of energy that we use on cooling the building. And then in the winter, the sun is at a lower angle in the sky, and so it's able to let light into the building, heating it and providing more light so that we don't have to use the lights as often.
A 100 kilowatt solar system pipes in 25% of Kroon's electricity. And this isn't just for scenery. This pond is part of a rainwater harvesting system. It collects rainwater runoff that's used for irrigation. The goal in all this? To use 81% less water and 58% less energy than a comparable building. So from Kroon Hall to the Yale Garden, the roots of sustainability are taking hold across this Ivy League campus, proving high education and ecology are two E's that go hand in hand.
Got myself a chilled bottle of chocolate milk in glass, which is recyclable. Let's see what's coming up on the show. It's not the future, but the now at this restaurant. And there's more. They're also turning grease into fuel.
Plus, finding common ground.
Good morning, Eco Explorers.
Meet some high school students who are getting kids excited about nature. More Eco Company is next.
This episode of Eco Company is made possible by the generous support of the Connecticut Clean Energy Finance and Investment Authority.
Hey guys, welcome back to Eco Company, coming to you from New Haven, Connecticut.
And you could find a lot of things at a farmer's market, but have you ever seen a cabbage this big?
Now this thing is bigger than both of our heads.
It's huge. You know, food's not just for eating anymore.
It's also being used to fuel our cars.
When you think of Connecticut, you think rolling hills of green, animals dotting the landscape, and white steeples towering over New England neighborhoods. But you probably don't think of this. Biodiesel, or what will soon become biodiesel.
We convert vegetable oils into biodiesel.
We're paying a visit to BioPure, a place that's on a mission to green up the planet one truckload of veggie oil at a time.
There was no alternative.
Chris Glennis is giving us a tour.
Biodiesel is a replacement for traditional fossil fuels. Here in New England, we also use biodiesel a lot in home heating oil.
Biodiesel is a cleaner burning fuel because it's made from renewable resources, not petroleum. That makes it biodegradable and non-toxic.
It doesn't affect the environment from a standpoint of pollution and the harmful products that are coming out of it.
It's no accident that Glennis came upon the idea to make liquid gold.
Our family's in the restaurant business, so we're producing the used frying oils. After we use them for making the French fries and all the other things, you know, it basically was thrown away at that point. We were looking at that, boy, we should be able to do something with this.
Do something is an understatement. BioPure now recycles used frying oil from the restaurant, where, by the way, there's also an electric vehicle charging station, along with more than 2,000 others in Connecticut.
Okay, so this is what we start with.
Yeah, this is actually the used frying oil from the restaurants. This has been filtered. It's a darker color than a regular vegetable oil because, of course, it's used. So we take this product and we make it into biodiesel.
And that is just like gold for you guys.
This is gold,
Put
yeah.
that to use.
Yep.
Here's where the process starts.
So where are we now?
Right now, where we are at the first stop, where the oil that has been picked up from the restaurants comes to. And from here, it's going to be filtered and made ready to be brought up to the biodiesel facility to be made into biodiesel. Biodiesel is basically a process of taking vegetable oils, create a reaction with alcohol and a catalyst, and when that reaction occurs, the biodiesel floats to the top and the glycerin comes to the bottom.
So what are these tanks used for?
These are our actual reaction tanks. In other words, the oil is pumped into these tanks. The catalyst and the alcohol is added to these tanks. They're agitated. What there's in there is like a big paddle, basically. And what it is slowly mix It's like oil and vinegar, pretty much.
Okay, so what are the byproducts of making biodiesel?
One of the byproducts is glycerin and glycerol. And glycerol can be made into a multitude of different things.
It's here where we also meet 17-year-old Dale Erickson.
I'm actually learning the whole process of producing biodiesel.
Today, he's in the lab working on an important step of the process.
I am testing with an indicator on how clean the oil that we're starting out with actually is. From there, we know how much chemical to actually add to it. It helps better our knowledge of what kind of mixture we need to actually make the diesel better.
We'll show them the processes and how we make the product, and they help us.
I never actually thought I'd be able to do this in high school. This is an opportunity that only certain few get, and they might not even be able to get it in high school. And here I am, 17 years old, a senior in high school, and I'm working, producing biodiesel.
They don't just make biodiesel.
The other piece of the puzzle is also create and produce electricity from our biodiesel, which is 100% renewable, Class 1 renewable energy, which is pretty cool.
It's used to juice up this power station right next door.
Which is in turn sold right into the grid.
When you produce electricity, you also get something else out of the deal, and that's heat.
So we also capture that heat from our generators and is reused here in the plant.
Talk about going full circle. It's another reason Glennis says recycling veggie oil is the way to go.
It's also from utilizing waste, trying to get more values out of the things that we're creating here, and not creating a huge garbage dump, and making a cleaner environment for the future.
Thanks to efforts like this, it's a future that's looking greener, not just for Connecticut, but for the rest of the world too.
Remember going to summer camp?
Hey, bo diddly bop. Hey, bo diddly bop.
These high school students are coming back as camp counselors.
Hey, Blue Beetles, let's go.
More Eco Company is next.
Welcome back to Eco Company, coming to you from New Haven, Connecticut.
Can you think of a better way to spend your day than outside?
The high schoolers are about to meet couldn't agree more.
They're camp counselors, green thumbs, and a whole lot more.
Good morning, Eco Explorers.
Who could forget the sights
Hey, bo diddly bop. Hey, bo diddly bop.
and sounds of summer camp?
I gotta get back to my block.
We're reliving the good old days at Common Ground in New Haven, Connecticut.
I'm gonna be your pizza man. I'm gonna be your pizza man.
A place where there's more going on than meets the eye.
Common Ground is a nonprofit organization which is devoted to developing the next generation of environmental leaders.
By summer, this 20-acre site is an ecology camp for kids, complete with an urban farm and high school counselors.
Hey, Blue Beetles, let's go.
Come fall, it's a charter school campus and recognized leader in both academics and environmental education.
It's an academic college prep program, but it's environmentally themed. So a lot of our courses sort of use the environment as sort of the core teaching tool to teach them the academic skills that they need to go to college.
Melissa Spear is the program's executive director.
Our high school students who are here during the school year, and there are 165 high school students, many of them work in our ecology camp during the summer.
Whoever needs some water, you can come over here to the hose, come on.
18-year-old Ralston Sessions is one of them. He's spending his summer back on campus as a camp counselor. Today's order of business?
Thursday we go.
To get their feet moving.
We're going on a big hike. These kids come out here, interact with nature, and have fun with it, and are excited to come back every year. So it just makes it even funner as a job.
All right, next one. You want to come in?
Jasmine Wilborn is another eco-minded teen. She became a counselor at only 13.
I was actually the first junior counselor to start this program that we have now. Run over here, Malika, right here.
She didn't go to school here, but is a former camper herself.
The reason why I continue to come back to Common Ground is because I know that children in nature is very important. And it's important because nature brings us back to our roots of being simple and grateful.
She even started a scholarship fund that pays camp fees for kids who can't afford to come on their own.
This year I did a rock-to-rock ecology bike ride, and I raised $750, and that was awesome. And then we raised a lot more, so we have like about $10,000 financial bank for kids, and it's really awesome. I mean, these efforts are good because we have kids who live right down the street who may just be in a regular TV kind of restrictive, non-creative setting, but now they're in nature enjoying and playing and using their minds in creative and natural ways, as opposed to being in an indoor building playing basketball all day because that's what they see on TV. Hello.
Here, it's not just about being creative. It's about food, as in growing your own.
Over here we have our tomatoes.
Terrence Walker is taking us on a garden tour.
This is Common Ground's lower garden. It's at the bottom of our hill. We grow food for our school and we sell it to the public too.
Students also put academics to the test here too.
We also have our environmental ventures class, and students make their own business. Like one of them, they make smoothies, mango smoothies and strawberry smoothies, and we have like this bike that has the blender on the seat and you just pedal it and it turns it all.
Soon they'll get to keep a lot more of what they grow too. The school's building a new harvest pavilion.
This will have 2 refrigerators in it, which will allow us to keep more produce in season, which means we could actually grow this and keep it for longer and not sell it all off.
But the pavilion isn't the only way they're putting building skills to the test.
We know we want information up here about recycling, about how we recycle, about how we reduce waste, about how we compost, about how the buildings got built.
Green Job Corps students, including 17-year-old Arturo Lopez, came up with these.
In here will be a compost bin, a waste bin, and a recycling bin. And the idea for this was to create a system that we can use before getting to the step of just recycling.
They're made out of wood that's been reclaimed.
The Green Job Corps group who made the structure, their goal was to build something that they could leave for the school that could be reused and grow into more different ideas.
And ideas are something Common Ground is all about. Whether it's sprouting seeds of change,
I learned a lot about the environment and how it affects me.
Or nurturing the next generation.
Being a counselor even helped me more because it shows me the effect I can have on the future by just showing kids how the environment is affecting us.
Common Ground is connecting young people with the world around them.
We think that the work we do here is very, very important, and that having the youth understand their role in the world and their relationship with the environment is absolutely critical.
For kids to know now that we need to conserve and save is better, because I wasn't really taught that at a young age. My parents and generations before wasn't. So it's best now so we can stop. We can actually stop pollution and lower the risk of hurting the earth.
I love Common Ground.
If your campus is doing something to go green,
we want to hear about it.
Grab your video camera and start rolling.
Create a video and upload it to our website at eco-company.tv.
It's time to open up the Eco-Lingo Dictionary. What is permaculture?
Yeah, so what is permaculture? Maybe you've heard that word before. Permaculture is sustainable design for human settlements based on ecological principles. You do things, using all organic materials. You use no pesticides in permaculture. You do ways of, I'd say, benefiting the ecosystem rather than, destroying some of the microorganisms that are under the soil, which is what conventional agriculture might do.
So how is this garden designed?
Sure, this garden was designed by students, first of all. We have an entire center section, which is our sunniest section, and that's where all our vegetables are being grown. We have our beets that are growing there with some squash. On the other side, we got some basil that's growing next to the Swiss chard. Yeah, these are Asian pears right here. We didn't want fruit trees to be shading some of our vegetables. We put those in the back of the garden on the north side. So we have our fruit trees with squash growing underneath it. Talking about just like in nature, when you have a canopy layer and then you have food growing right underneath it.
So you take what happens in nature and you replicate it here to make food.
Yeah.
So this isn't your usual dorm food fare.
No, this is really good fresh food grown 15 feet right outside of the dining commons at UMass. Students are growing the food, they're harvesting it, and they're cooking it for their fellow students right here at the university. This is good food.
No canned peas and carrots, huh?
Nope, none of that.
Permaculture. Know your eco-lingo and be part of the solution.
That's it for us this week on Eco Company.
We've had a great time here in Connecticut.
To check out segments on our show, visit our website at eco-company.tv.
We'll see you next time
on Eco Company.